Hey, good morning. Robert Stanlick here with Rocky Mountain Wealth Partners. And this is going to be a little different video. And I hope you find this helpful and I hope it can help you relax because the media is bombarding people, social media is bombarding people with the dollar's collapsing. We're going to lose favored status of the world wanting to trade in the dollar. Our debt's out of control. We're all going to go to a digital currency and everybody's going to be socialist by the end of 2023. Well, let's start from the very beginning and let's just look at the dollar. Here's the US dollar going back 10 years. That doesn't look like a currency that's in free fall. And currently we're at 101. We should be at par, which would be 100. We had a huge spike when the interest rates went up. They went up to 114 just because our rates got so high and people have been buying U.S. bonds and it's brought the yield down. So this chart in itself really should help you calm the fears of a collapsing dollar and it's, the end of the world as we know it. But let's look at the Chinese yuan versus the US dollar and exchange rate. When you take a look at this, you see a company that has manipulated their currency to our dollar because they peg it to us. If China was to really go out on their own and they really wanted to do purchases in exchange for currencies with other countries, their dollar would go through the roof. And if that were to happen, China wouldn't be able to sell as much products to everybody else in the world because their currency is too expensive. It's like the United States. When the dollar's strong, you have a problem with people being able to export to other countries. So that's why it's always nice to kind of keep it in a range. But China has manipulated this like crazy, and it's benefited their economy hugely. But if they had to go out on their own, they would get killed because their yuan would go up so much that they wouldn't be able to sell goods to other countries. Now, let's get into a little bit about the debt. And this is from Quora and World Atlas. But I thought this question was great, is how can the United States be considered one of the wealthiest nations in the world with a debt of over 20 trillion? And I want to come back to 20 trillion because we see it's like 31 trillion. But to get to 31, you have to add in the Social Security and the debt that the U.S. government has used to put on the books to take care of Medicare, Social Security, and those types of programs. So that gets you to the 30 trillion. But our net assets is 225 trillion. So we have 10 times the amount of assets to debt. It would be nice if it was better, and 31 trillion isn't good, but a big chunk of that is Social Security and other programs that the U.S. government gives them bonds in place of cash for. And then this was fascinating. I did this back on the radio show probably 10 years ago. So basically, we own $6 trillion of foreign debt. And they own they own 6 trillion of our debt. We've owned 5 trillion of their debt. So that means for every dollar we owe to a foreign government owes us about 90 cents. So if we were to cash out right now, we would be a little less than $1 trillion in the hole. And if you wanted to be exact, it would be 568 billion. So think about that a second. We're not in major trouble when it comes to foreign debt as to what people owe. In fact, if fear wasn't such a strong motivator, we would have canceled this debt out a long time ago. But when you have debt, you have control, and you can create fear. That's what the national debt is all about right now. So hopefully this helps put things into perspective for you as well. I don't want to go into the whole cryptocurrency right now that the government is supposedly beta testing and all the ramifications with that. I may do that later, but I just wanted to start with this so that you could get a good feel that everybody on Facebook, everybody on TikTok, all the talking heads on radio and TV are creating fear to try and get more control over you. If you got any questions, give me a call, 719-400-6516.